Hi there and welcome back to Fat's Kitchen. Today's International Chocolate Day. Why we only have one day devoted to chocolate is crazy. Every day should be devoted to chocolate. But to celebrate this very special day, I've chosen to make a frozen chocolate cheesecake. Now, I first made this cheesecake over 20 years ago and it was a hit back then and it is still very popular nowadays. And the amazing thing is that you need zero skills in the kitchen. It requires absolutely no baking. You just need to get your ingredients together, mix them and pop them in the freezer, and then you're done. The next day you have a showstopper. Right, so I'm going to start first of all with a very special equipment we're going to need. This is called a springform pan. You can see the bottom is separate from the walls of the pan. And what's very important is that this pan clips. So you can see you're going to clip the base into these grooves here. Now, this will help you to release your cheesecake once it's done. So make sure you have one of these. A very, very useful tool to have in the kitchen. Right, so let's run through our ingredients quickly. You're going to use some biscuits. Now, I've chosen to go with a chocolate flavor, so I've chosen a chocolate biscuit for my cake, but you can use whatever biscuits you have in your cupboard. Then for flavor, we use a chocolate milk powder, a powder used to flavor milk, give it a chocolate flavor. To bind your base ingredients, we are going to use 100 grams of butter, which I will melt in a moment. And then the final ingredient for your base is 25 grams of nuts. Now, I've chosen hazelnuts, as you can see here. I've roasted them as well to add to the flavor, but you can use whatever nuts you have. Almonds, pistachios, pecans, whatever you have and whatever you prefer. But personally, I prefer hazelnuts because I think the combination of chocolate and hazelnuts is a match made in heaven. Now, let's look at our filling ingredients. Again, we are going to use our chocolate milk powder to flavor our chocolate. It's a cheesecake, so you're going to need some cream cheese, 250 grams of cream cheese, and to make it really rich, 250 grams of mascarpone cheese. And I have here a tin of dessert cream, as well as a tin of condensed milk for sweetness. And that is all you need. So I'm going to start now by making the base. Right, I think I've ground my biscuits fairly finely together with my nuts. So in my processor, I put all my biscuits, my nuts, and then 5 tablespoons of my Milo granules. And then you pulse it together. If you don't have a food processor, you can place all these dry ingredients into a freezer Ziploc bag, and then you can crush them either using a rolling pin. If you don't have a rolling pin, use an empty wine bottle. I'm sure there will be some of those around. Okay, so I'm going to transfer now these crumbs into a bowl. What's nice is you can see the hazelnuts are just finely ground, so they're quite big pieces, which will be really nutty and crunchy in our base. And I've melted my butter. As you can see, I melted it in the microwave, quick and easy. And I'm now going to add it to the big biscuit mixture. Right, so my butter's been nicely incorporated into my biscuit crumbs, and I have put my springform pan together here. I've lined the springform pan with baking paper. You can see it's the baking paper comes out. I've made sure that my bottom of my springform pan is nicely clipped into the base, and now you can transfer your biscuits, crushed biscuits, and you're now going to spread out the biscuits evenly into your base and you're going to press them firmly into the base, firmly and evenly into the base. Right, so I've started adding my ingredients, my filling ingredients into my blender. This is my mascarpone cheese. There we go. Don't want to waste any of it. And then lastly, I have here 200 milliliters of my Milo. And I'm going to blend this now nicely. Right, so all my ingredients are blended together. Bear in mind, of course, you don't need a stand mixer like this one. You could use a regular hand beater to combine your filling ingredients until they're nice and smooth and well incorporated. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transfer the mixture. I've taken my base out of the refrigerator. I had it in the refrigerator while I've been busy so that the butter can harden and the base can harden, and we're going to transfer this now. Now, because this sits in the refrigerator, it is technically not a cheesecake. It's really a cross between a cheesecake and chocolate ice cream, which makes it doubly delicious. So in the event that people didn't finish eating your cheesecake once you serve it, you would have to store it in your freezer again to keep it cold and to keep it set. So you can see this makes a rather large cheesecake, so it's going to serve many people. And I'm going to decorate mine with some mint chocolate, and going to get a bit fancy and decorate it also with macarons, but we'll be back tomorrow to do that. I'm going to cover it now with this plastic wrap before I put it in the freezer and leave it overnight. So I'll see you tomorrow when I unmold the cheesecake. Hi, I've taken my cheesecake out of the freezer. It's been there overnight, and I've already unclipped my mold, and I'm hoping for the best. There we go. There we have the cheesecake, and we'll be able to slip it off. The base quite easily. And what I'm going to do now, I'm now going to attempt to take it off my bake paper and transfer it I think I need help. Just move this over there. There we go. I think I've got it nicely positioned on here. Right, so what I have here is a chocolate hard shell. This is the type of thing you would typically buy and you would pour over your ice cream. I make mine at home, and pretty soon I will have a tutorial on how to make this. It just requires 2 ingredients. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour this around the edge. You of course don't have to decorate your cheesecake with this, but what I like about this is that your cheesecake is cold and it should be served cold, so it's an ideal way to decorate. This will go hard like it normally would on ice cream, given enough time, I think. And you could continue, you can add more if you like. And remember, I chose to make mine a chocolate mint flavor, so I've got here some crushed chocolate with mint in it, and I'll continue to add this and decorate as you wish. And I made some chocolate macarons, and this I'm going to now place on the top of my cheesecake. So in addition to this delicious cross between a cheesecake and chocolate ice cream, as if that isn't decadent enough, we're going to enjoy some chocolate Nutella macarons.